Welcome to the Kolter Homes Inside Florida Pickleball Show, a weekly program featuring all the lifestyle aspects on and off the court of the fastest growing sport in America, pickleball. This week's show is presented by PGA Village Verano, the award-winning new gated community in Port St. Lucie, Florida, with a 27-court pickleball center and clubhouse and home of the World Pickleball Open. And now, here's your host, veteran sportscaster and pickleball enthusiast, Carl Foster.
Hello, everybody. I'm Carl Foster. Welcome to this week's edition of Inside Florida Pickleball. We're at the beautiful PGA Village Verano, where they have 27 dedicated pickleball courts, the largest private facility in the state of Florida. Kolter Homes has built a magnificent facility. We did the World Pickleball Open here in December of last year, and looking at 2020 with that event to come back for a second season. Also this week,
can't keep a good pickleball player down. So as you can see, residents are back out on the courts now. When Phase 1 reopened, we started reopening the courts, trying to do things as safely as possible, but still, this is a very social sport, a lot of fun, and people are able to get out here and do it, just doing it responsibly with each other.
Pickleball is a fabulous sport for those that have played tennis or not played tennis. You get a great coach, and boy, they can really get you to move up quickly, learn the right skills, and then get out here and just have fun.
The whole vision of the exhibition was how can we safely return to professional pickleball with reopenings of exhibition play. So my vision with putting one event in Hilton Head and the other event out in Bend, Oregon is again trying to reduce that travel. I didn't want the pros getting in airplanes or doing things that made them feel uncomfortable.
I want you to stay in your backhand look. The reason being is that we have the ability to come all the way out here.
One tool I love using during my matches, I call it act as if, or what would so-and-so do?
all this coming up on Kolter Homes Inside Florida Pickleball on Fox Sports Florida.
Shopping for a new home in Port St. Lucie? Start your search at PGAVillageVerano.com. Discover a resort-style community by Kolter Homes, featuring social and fitness clubhouses, award-winning homes and villas, championship golf next door, a 55-plus neighborhood, and South Florida's largest private pickleball center. See virtual tours and build your dream home online with interactive floor plans at PGAVillageVerano.com.
Inside Florida Pickleball with John Manrique, Kolter Homes and PGA Verano, one of the most beautiful facilities for pickleball, where I got introduced back in December at the World Pickleball Open. And we've been up here in this place. Went through some changes because of the pandemic, but John, just when we looked at December in the World Pickleball Open, how the activity and the pickleball and the excitement, and now we see it back here, a different lifestyle right now. But talk about some of the changes from December to where we're at now.
Sure. And so we opened the courts in November, as you know. 27 courts here, largest private facility in perhaps Florida, definitely Southeast Florida. Real excited, kicked it off with, met you for the first time there at the World Pickleball Open, and Ivan and the team. Great event, brought in players from, 4 different countries, over 25 states across the country here. Momentum was building, and then everything kind of got put on pause, but you can't keep a good pickleball player down. And so as you can see, residents are back out on the courts now. When Phase 1 reopened, we started reopening the courts, trying to do things as safely as possible, but still, this is a very social sport, a lot of fun, and people are able to get out here and do it, just doing it responsibly with each other.
We talked to many of the players here today, and they're happy to be back here. We got beautiful sunshine. It's a little bit hot, but you know what? It doesn't keep them away. They're out here playing. And we talked about the different players coming in from different sports. And what's your makeup here at PGA Verano? I know you're still early on, you're still building homes, you're still looking for people to move here. We've talked to a lot of people that, if they like pickleball, this is the place to migrate to, no matter where they're at in the country.
Right. Well, obviously our affiliation with PGA Village Verano, we're the only real estate development in the country affiliated with them, so golf has always been a big draw here. And tennis obviously is a big part of it as well, and just the whole social and fitness fabric. But this is a sport, though it's 30 years old, really has found itself in the last, I think, with the general population, 5 or so years as America's fastest growing, if not was the number one, certainly growing. So we find people here that are golfers, former tennis players, some of them playing right behind us right now, or former professional players who found their way to pickleball. And then there's folks that have never played any sort of organized sport in their life, but they hear this is a lot of fun and it's really social, and they're drawn to it too. So that's kind of, to me, the beauty of this sport is it's one that even if you have no real athletic background, you can pick it up quickly, and great way to meet friends, new friends, and just have a good time each and every day.
When you talk about the social aspect, what we found out doing the show and talking to people why they love pickleball, they've all become pickleball addicts. They step out the court the first time, and it's usually like they fall in love immediately and they start playing. I played with my son for the first time last weekend and taught him. He's 20 years old. He said, "Oh man, I love this." He said, "I didn't know anything about it before," and that's what we're seeing. But when you're looking at the marketing of homes and communities and what people are looking for around the country, and you're looking at your other developments, is pickleball a big part of the expansion of Kolter Homes?
It certainly is. Lake Lanier was our first active adult, Crestwind at Lake Lanier was our first active adult community we launched about a decade ago. No pickleball. And Atlanta, it's in the Atlanta market. Atlanta is a big tennis market. And so people started talking about this thing called pickleball. So we started restriping some of the courts. Now they've restriped 16 pickleball courts on there because there's such a demand for pickleball over tennis. And when we started then developing more of our active adult communities throughout the Southeast, it was, well, let's open with 2 pickleball courts. Let's open with 4 pickleball courts. Well, fast forward 10 years later, we got 27 courts here. We have another new community up in Atlanta that's going to have over 30, almost 40 pickleball courts, just because the demand is so huge for this sport. And why? I think more than anything, when people are moving into a community like this with like-minded individuals, this is such a social and fun sport. It's one that, you can have a game and have a great time in an hour. So it's not, as much as I enjoy golf, that's a 4 to 6 hour allocation of your day you have to give. You can get out here, get it done, have a lot of fun, and go on with your day. So I think the social component's always such a huge part of our lifestyle communities, and this just blends, it just adds itself so well, pickleball.
Have met so many people in this community. People said to me, I was here for 2 years and didn't know anybody. Since pickleball, we're all friends, and so we're just looking for the community to open up and be able to have fabulous events here. Please come out and see this beautiful community. It is well worth the visit.
I love the engagement of the people. I like the fact that here's all these things going on in our life and no one's immune to what's happening, but yet we respect each other, we respect each other's space, and we can have fun. And as a coach, my number 1 rule is you have to have fun. My number 2 rule is look at rule number 1. So people out here are having fun and they love to get together and they just want to have something that's organized and fun, something to do every day, to look forward to it. And this is like Taj Mahal for pickleball right now. We're very fortunate to be here. I'm very honored and very blessed that I get to even be here with these folks.
We were tennis players. I wasn't very good, that's fine. A 3-0 type of player. Me and my husband played all the time, and we lived in a retirement community at the time, and an older gentleman named Cappy, he's probably like 87 or 88, was playing pickleball, and we love him, and he called us over, "Come on over, we need a 4th." And I said, that doesn't look fun, and we said, but he kept asking, and we love him, so we went and played, and we never played tennis again. That was about 11 months ago, 10 months ago maybe. And we never played tennis again. We had so much fun, and you realize these guys are in their 80s, 90s, and they can play, but it can be also super competitive. We play with 25-year-old firemen, and we run around and burn 1,200 calories in 2 or 3 hours. I'm down 18 pounds since I started playing. It's just a great sport. We play 6 days a week, sometimes twice a day, and we're pretty much obsessed. So we sold our house, and we bought here because of pickleball court.
Well, one thing is my wife and I can play for a half hour, and she's just a beginner, and we have fun. And it's fun for me, and you can tell it's a good exercise. And it seems that everybody on the courts here are having fun. So isn't that what life is about? Have as much fun as you can.
That's it. And you don't always have fun on the golf course.
No.
A little bit more challenging. You hit a good shot, then one goes in the water. That's not fun.
No. So I'm really happy with this place. I'm so proud of these 27 pickleball courts, and I just hope it keeps growing and growing.
Shopping for a new home in Port St. Lucie? Start your search at PGAVillageVerano.com. Discover a resort-style community by Kolter Homes, featuring social and fitness clubhouses, award-winning homes and villas, championship golf next door, a 55-plus neighborhood, and South Florida's largest private pickleball center. See virtual tours and build your dream home online with interactive floor plans at PGAVillageVerano.com.
I've tried a lot of other products, plenty of electrolyte mixes. They either contain some sort of sugar in them or something to give you a boost for a little while, but eventually it runs out.
Jigsaw products help me stay competitive. They help me stay energized.
It's helped me become a better player.
Jigsaw helps me recover faster.
I think all of you need Jigsaw help in your life. And you know why?
It's fun to feel good.
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 It's fun to feel good. Cheers.
This week's news around the pickleball courts. The first thing you're going to be doing is going to be an exhibition up at Hilton Head, July 25th. That is still on because we just found out yesterday, and you had mentioned on a phone conversation that the Nationals at Indian Wells was going to be canceled, and 2 hours later I got an email. It was canceled, so I was talking to Steve Kennedy about that yesterday. But that's an effect on the industry and the sport overall, just like the U.S. Open in tennis. They're going to have their event, but no spectators. I'm not sure how that's going to work out in New York. But with the pickleball, it's in Arizona, and Arizona wasn't a hot spot. Now it's become a hot spot like us here in Florida. So that's going to affect the whole industry. But looking at the APP Tour event, what's going to happen at Hilton Head with your exhibition? And that's going to be sort of your people are going to be able to come watch this, spectators?
Well, that's a great question, and it's a question that we're monitoring every day. First off, I want to take my hats off to a great company. Jigsaw is coming on board and being our title sponsor for both the Hilton Head exhibition and the exhibition we're doing in Bend, Oregon. It's a one-day shootout in Hilton Head. Play will begin at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to run 10 hours of continuous live stream until 6 o'clock at night. We've got a great team down in Hilton Head that are monitoring the situation. We're in touch with them daily to see what's going on with the different, what the state officials and city, county officials are taking place. In South Carolina, we've seen a little bit of a spike down there, but not as great as we've seen in some other states. So we are closely monitoring that. The question about spectators being able to come on in and play, if we do have any spectator seating, it will be social distancing 6 feet away from each other in a very limited role and a very limited capacity. The whole vision of the exhibition was how can we safely return to professional pickleball with reopenings of exhibition play. So my vision with putting one event in Hilton Head and the other event out in Bend, Oregon was again trying to reduce that travel. I didn't want the pros gate and airplanes or doing things that made them feel uncomfortable. So we've got an awesome selection of players, top pros coming in from the Southeast region, Southern region to help support us out in the Hilton Head event. And then the next week we're out in Bend, Oregon, and it's all those California West Coast players coming out and playing and helping us out there. So it's great. The viewership will be able to see all their favorite pros on both sides of the United States.
Talk about now the schedule of events that are still in play. I saw Indianapolis was canceled, your first APP Tour event coming up. Talk about Chicago, talk about your regular schedule. We're going to post the full schedule up on the screen, but talk about what's it look like for the rest of this year. We're in early July, right? Just getting rolling, but what's the rest of the year look like?
That's a great question, and certainly some of my gray hair has come from trying to figure out what's going to happen next out there. Our team right now is looking at opening up the tour at Jigsaw Tournament of Champions. Tournament of Champions is one of the major, one of the top 3 major tournaments. We're honored and proud to have them be a part of the tour. And with the closing of Indian Wells and the U.S. Open, it's going to be the only major that the pros can play in this year. So we start the tour off there. And then from there, we head to Chicago. The Chicago Open is officially on. We're excited and thrilled to host the second event this year in Chicago. We had to postpone the event to now Labor Day weekend. We originally had the date in the middle of July, but through postponing it and through the governor opening up our state, which is not spiked, into the fourth phase, we feel confident that we're going to be able to offer a nice tournament and be able to showcase the city like we were able to do last year. Following Chicago, we head to Atlanta for the prestigious Atlanta Open. We then go through to Las Vegas, and then we come back up to the Midwest with the Cincinnati, and also then finishing up in Hilton Head for our year. So right now, everything is on, but the teams that we've got intact with all those different cities, we're monitoring the situation, and we'll keep everyone updated.
You're able to do something on World Pickleball 10-10-20. How'd you come up with that date, and what's the thought process behind it?
Yeah, so, what we wanted to do is to do two main objectives, right? We want to create a grassroots programs where any club, any country, a federation at any country will have all the tools available to them so that they could pick and choose what they want and to help, spread the love of pickleball, right? Introduce new people to the game. We know as pickleball players that if we can get people on the court, they get addicted really, really quick. So we want to grow the game, certainly from a participant standpoint. In particular, I'd like to see it grow significantly more than it has in the past with kids. It's a great game. It's easy to learn for children. And so, our toolkit, we've got a book in there, we've got videos in there, a logo, we've got a press release that is ready to go for any country or club so that they can release it to local newspapers in their community. There's ads, there's t-shirt designs, there's hats, there's banners, all of the visibility type of elements that would help to publicize the event. And whatever that may be is available on our website, and it's absolutely free of charge. So, the intent is to provide an opportunity for everybody to do their small part. If you're at a club or you're at a park, make a point that day to have some signs, around the neighborhood, try to get some of the kids to come on the court and give some basic guidance, introducing the game to new people. So that's certainly a grassroots effort that can be done globally on the world stage. By the same token, we want to also increase the exposure through additional media, as we're doing right now, right? Because, I understand that in order for pickleball really to make a major significant move, it takes more than just participants. It takes additional exposure through the media and to get more people to view pickleball, to get a better understanding of what the game is about, to get TV, because that in return will end up getting, bigger companies to sponsor events.
Hi, Steve Kennedy here, and I want to give you another tip of the week. I want to teach you what your paddle positioning should be. In my opinion, there's two different positions. There's one from the baseline, because you're about to get a ground stroke. There's also another one when you transition through this area in the court, which I like to call the land of opportunity. Some people call it no man's land, but you got to learn to play in this whole court. I teach my students that the entire court is something that you should practice on. You should be in every position on the court and learn to play there. But let's talk about paddle positioning. Baseline paddle positioning should be basically like a tennis player, where the paddle is forward and out front here, right? Which enables us to move to the forehand or to the backhand side. As we're transitioning through and coming up to the kitchen line, many, many feet out in front, I believe that your paddle should be pushed forward and offset, so we cock the wrist a little bit in this position here. So some people say it's 11 o'clock, and I agree with that, but it's not 11 o'clock like this. It's actually 11 o'clock wrist cocked. Ball comes, the reason being I like this is because you should be predominantly hitting backhands now. So when that ball's coming in, we're going into our backhand look. Now, a lot of people say, why a backhand? I want to attack with my forehand. If the ball is going to be struck with a lot of pace at you, I want you to stay in your backhand look. The reason being is that we have the ability to come all the way out here, come all the way across, and look at the range of motion I've had in here. The paddle can move well past the right shoulder this direction. So hence, when I'm coming in with my backhand with the 11 o'clock position, I'm able to get that paddle properly. When I come to the forehand, I get stuck here with the elbow. All right, so that's why it's really important to me when you're coming in. Get your paddle centered, cock it off. Paddle's now at 11 o'clock. Ball's coming hard and fast. You have no time to think. You react, you go backhand. All right, so the tip of the day is make sure you get that paddle at 11 o'clock.
Up next, the mental side of pickleball on Kolter Homes' Inside Florida Pickleball Show.
Pickleball is all about joy, love, fun, unity, celebration, and passion. You can display your passion on and off the pickleball court with an exciting new brand, OneSoulPickleball.com. With unique expression and goal to inspire and serve others and make a positive impact in the world, OneSoulPickleball.com has a conscious collection of apparel, merchandise, gifts, accessories, and home goods now available at their official online store. Display your passion of pickleball with peace and love. OneSoulPickleball.com.
Shopping for a new home in Port St. Lucie? Start your search at PGAVillageVerano.com. Discover a resort-style community by Kolter Homes, featuring social and fitness clubhouses, award-winning homes and villas, championship golf next door, a 55-plus neighborhood, and South Florida's largest private pickleball center. See virtual tours and build your dream home online with interactive floor plans at PGAVillageVerano.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm Carl Foster, host of the new Kolter Homes Inside Florida Pickleball Show, the first weekly program dedicated to the fastest-growing sport in America, pickleball, airing on Fox Sports Florida each Saturday morning at 9 a.m. We'll showcase the fun, amateur and pro competitions, equipment and fashion insights, health and instructional tips, pickleball lifestyles, trips and charity events. Kolter Homes Inside Florida Pickleball, Saturdays, 9 a.m. on Fox Sports Florida. It's pickleball on purpose.
It's time for the mental side of pickleball with gold medal pickleball winner Lee Rosenthal.
Hi, this is Lee Rosenthal with OneSoulPickleball.com, and I have a great tip for you. In life and in pickleball, we know that we have role models, we have coaches, we have mentors, and very often we want to use other people's experience to improve and get further faster. That's actually a tool that we can use on the pickleball court. One thing is model what other players are doing for their training. See what they're doing, the time spent on the court, the shots that they're practicing. One tool I love using during my matches, I call it act as if, or what would so-and-so do? For example, say there's a player who I know is a great grinder, and it's hot out there, I'm in a tough match, and maybe I'm not feeling so strong in that moment. What I'll do is say, what would Jay do? Well, Jay, he would grind, he would hustle, he would scrap, he would get one more shot back in. So what we're doing is adapting somebody else's identity, using these role models. It actually works. It helps us get out of our own heads and kind of act like Superman. What would Superman do on this shot? So remember, act as if, use role models. That's your tip of the week. This is Lee Rosenthal with OneSoulPickleball.com, and keep improving.
Gosh. Ow. So close. So close. So close. Nope, that's out. That's out. Out! Out, out, that's clearly out. Out. Not even close! Yeah, this is my new custom paddle. It's a custom jobber right here. It's triple carbon polyfiber honeycomb tri-blend faceplate with titanium alloy grip handle. It's custom molded to fit my hand. Oh, and it's got Bluetooth. No. Look, here's what you're doing wrong. Okay, your footwork is sloppy. You need to explode through the ball with your hips. All right, let's run it again. Come on, let's do it better. Is this the ball you want to play with? I only play with Durafast 40s.
Man, I love this sport.
That's this week's edition of Inside Florida Pickleball from Kolter Homes and PGA Village Verano at this beautiful facility. Join us again next week for more tips, dinks of the week, the mental side, and much more about the pickleball lifestyle.
This week's show was presented by PGA Village Verano, the award-winning new gated community in Port St. Lucie, Florida, with a 27-court pickleball center and clubhouse and home of the World Pickleball Open. Join us again next week here on Fox Sports Florida and see you on the pickleball courts.